JD, man, you're such a fucking loser, man.
Hey, wait, there's more.
What?
Did JD mention about how then he was hanging out with the cast of Scrubs and how he met the girl that he's sort of in love with, Sofia Vergara?
No.
So they introduced him to Sofia Vergara. You know that hot chick?
Yeah.
And you know
with the beautiful ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened when you were introduced to...
No, that's Vita Guerra, I think.
Oh. All right, but Sofia Vergara, what happened?
I mean, she's a hot chick. We just talked for a second, and, you know, nothing happened.
Fuck that up.
Like I mentioned...
What'd you say to her? How'd it go? Tell me what happened.
We talked for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
What did she say to you?
Well, when I lived in Florida, like, I would see the Spanish show she was on all the time. So I told her...
Dude, what was the intro? How did you meet Sofia Vergara?
The owner of Villa, I forget his name, he introduced me to her, and...
He came over and said, hey, this is JD from the Howard Stern Show?
Yeah, and she said how, you know, she had a good time on the show when she was on, and you were very respectful. Right. And I said, yeah, you know, I remember you being on the show Fuera de Serie or whatever.
The show what?
Fuera de Serie?
She was on a show called Fuera de Serie on Spanish TV.
Yeah.
She was so hot.
Man, I wish I had a tape of this coming in.
While he's being so mumble-mumble.
But listen to this, like, Ryan
That was on Univision, right?
Ryan Phillippe and the owner of the club are introducing him.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, so does she go, so you go, hey, you were on Philippa de Ferry.
Sorry.
And she knows she's on that show, so you're reminding her of it. Yeah.
You were on the Spanish shows.
She didn't know.
So all this time you've been sitting around watching TV is what you've just told her.
No. Come on. So yeah, go ahead. So then she says, that's right, I was on that show.
Oh, no, she acted like she didn't know what I was talking about. It made me feel like an asshole. That was basically it.
She doesn't even remember.
The owner
what happens, like, how does she get away from you? Like, what's her exit line?
I think the owner started talking to me, wanted me to introduce me to his girlfriend.
And then she got out. She walked away.
That was her out.
Wow.
JD, man, you are a fucking loser.
But you had to see, so backstage at the stand-up show was the weirdest group of people. First of all, J.D. has a brother who's exactly like him.
Oh, you met J.D.'s brother?
Yes, he lives in L.A., and he works at Best Buy.
Oh,
he came by, and, you know, he was helping out. He was a nice kid, but J.D. and him were, like, next to each other the whole night, and it was J.D. in stereo. Because he's got the glasses and the look, and he was like, repeating. And,
it's Beavis and Beavis.
Okay, so it was that, and it was Stuttering John and his wife. It was Jason Itzler, the pimp, the famous pimp.
Oh, my goodness.
Henry Hill.
Blue Iris.
What a backstage.
Blue Iris. George Takei and Brad. Sam Simon and his posse. By the way, Sam's girlfriend's smoking hot.
Yeah.
And
Spade showed up.
David Spade showed up, and I lost it on the Bleeding Deacons.
Why?
Oh, God.
The Bleeding Deacons?
I almost fucking punched the guy out.
What happened?
They, you know, I asked them on the air. I extended the invitation to come and play at the gig. And when we got there, because it's like an amphitheater and a big deal, I went to the sound check, and I wanted to make sure that there's video and shit going all right. And the Deacons got there early. And in all fairness, I mean, they seem to be a garage band made up of 8 48-year-old guys, you know. But real nice guys, I guess talented or whatever. And so they were already all set up. And I was trying to get shit done that I really had on my mind, and this Deacon guy was in my ear the whole time. We're going to do this, and then you're going to smash a guitar, and we're going to... And I'm like, no, just play a couple songs as the audience is sitting down, and at the end I'll plug you. You know, that's... He's like, all right, what if you don't want to do this? I'm like, maybe we'll smash a guitar, but there's a lot going on. So, and I didn't want him on stage while the comedians were there, because that's very disconcerting. I said, you got to leave the stage, blah, blah, blah. So they were going to just play a few songs in the beginning.
That was the idea.
Right, okay. So they get in there, and it's the biggest gig it's the biggest gig I ever played. It's impressive, and they probably got carried away. The show's supposed to start at 8:15. Now, you know, it's a crowd that's coming to see a specific thing. They're fans of our show. They sort of know the Bleeding Deacons. They're playing... And it's a pre-stand-up show. They're playing insanely loud. You couldn't understand, like, what we were just talking about. You know, they probably went nuts, like this was their dream come true or something. They went about...
Well, they're probably like...
Right. Like, everybody's trying to sit, like, oh, what's going on? When is the show starting? And is there a comedian coming up? And The show was supposed to start at 8:15. They went like a half an hour too late. And I'm outside.
I thought they were going to do some song parodies.
Well, they did, and then they had a guy dressed like me. They make videos now.
Right, I know.
And they had a guy dressed like me and a head that looks like me running out, and they were like feeding him stuff and I'm sitting out, stressing about the show with my fucking iPod. I'm hearing the whole thing, and I go to Teddy. I go, Ted, what the fuck are they doing? This shit's a half an hour too long.
But you see, you have to, when you have guys who don't normally do this stuff, you got to go and you say, listen, I want 3 song parodies.
Right. I should have been more specific.
Each one is a minute long, right. And then you leave.
I should have been more specific. But
Artie was surprised that the Bleeding Deacons fucked up.
All right, so, but listen.
Because they don't really know.
It got to a point, though, where they were really being selfish.
But
they would not leave. They hijacked the fucking stage. So I said to Teddy, Teddy, listen, man. I called Teddy over and said, you go tell them that we're going to shoot them if they don't get on stage. So he got a stage manager to tell the guy, you got to leave, okay?
Right.
And then after he says that, the fucking Bleeding Deacons guys, you guys want to hear one more? And the crowd didn't want to hear one more. And his fantasy goofball head, when he's singing into his hairbrush in his bedroom, they said, yeah, we want to hear one more. So he then proceeds to play another, 8-minute song.
Wait,
and at the end...
Daniel wants to defend himself. Hey, Daniel, what happened?
Listen, I was standing with the stage... Now, I don't know if he's a stage manager, him, Artie, and the production manager. I said, our set is 30 minutes, but we're completely flexible.
I never heard a 30-minute set. Wait, let me finish what he did. And then you can have the stage.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end, a comedy show's about to happen, all right? The MC's got to come out and go, hey, what's up, everybody, a calm thing. These guys start smashing guitars like they're the Who. Like they start fucking, like there's pyrotechnics. I hear them going, ah! You can't understand a word they're saying. They're just loud and annoying, and people are cringing. They're smashing a guitar, and I'm going, my face is getting red with anger. So after that stops, there's smoke. The stage managers had to come sweep the guitar off, and now there's this awkward silence. Now it's nothing but an awkward silence. 6,000 people are going, they're watching those poor stage managers sweep the guitar. Now they start to boo. Not one person applauded for it because they thought it was just weird. And so now this kid Pete Dominic, who MCs for me, he's got a show at Sirius. This poor kid's getting thrown to the fucking wolves now. And Spade was sitting there, and he goes, Art, you're totally right for being mad. I would go ballistic. So that doesn't help. No one was saying anything. So I lost it. I said some things I probably shouldn't have said. I screamed at Daniel. I screamed at, the other, and I was yelling, and people were trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Right. And I said to the stage, I said, please play some house music so it's not awkward silence till they clear the fucking stage, and this kid can at least have some sort of an intro.
Yeah, but you see, you got to blame yourself. You got to say to Daniel, Daniel, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you to take some responsibility here. You got to say to Daniel, Daniel, here's what's going to happen. I want 3 song parodies. That's how people know you from the Stern.
So how do you explain after we tell him to get off stage, he does another song?
Yeah, how come you didn't get off stage? That's the part I don't get.
Here's what happened. I told the guy, I said, hit me on the monitor. Tell me whenever you want. I go, just leave me 5 minutes so I can because I have a Stern Show parody set portion of it that's 5 minutes long.
But that's what you should have done.
Yeah.
That's what you should have done.
But I told him ahead of time, I said, I can do whatever you want. I said, this is what I would like to do. I have a 30-minute set. Everybody stand there. They say, okay, that sounds good, because it'll be this time. By the time everybody gets in the seat, that's what we'll do. And then I say, now, if you want anything different, just hit me in the monitors. Say, last song or 5 minutes.
We said last song, and then you played another song.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right, whatever, dude. Whatever.
He didn't hit me on the monitor.
All right, whatever.
You didn't hit him on the monitor.
Who knows what you're talking about?
You didn't hit him on the monitor.
I want to hit you on the head. With the monitor. And they're all in, priest outfits, the lamest gimmick for a band. So I finally, this kid Pete Dominic was the most valuable player of the night. He went out there, and he's as professional as a comic is. He fucking dug. He had an 80-foot hole to dig himself out of. I felt so bad for the kid. I said, you know what, Pete, I might just go out there now and try to calm down. Just try to do 2 hours or something. And Pete...
So, Daniel, Pete
went out and got them back and killed, and the rest of the night was the show was amazing. And by the end, I had calmed down, and I apologized on stage, and I paid Daniel as much money as I felt... even more money than I thought I owed him because I felt bad about yelling.
Can I ask?
And that's how it ended. You know, the show went good.
What were the things that you said that you think you regret?
Well, Jay, did you have some of it on?
I only have like a tail end, like it was where he says, "Yeah, you really got the crowd going now." That's about all I got.
Well, listen, I was giving. First of all, half of the guys in the band looked like they probably beat the shit out of me. But I mean, again, it was my show. Like it's one of the biggest nights of my career. It's the Carnegie Hall of the West Coast.
You should have told Daniel, I want a 5-minute set of the song parodies you do on the Stern Show. That's it.
And that's what I would have done. I would have done anything. You think I was there?
But Daniel, why did you smashing guitars? What?
I even cleared that with them. I cleared that with the production manager. I said I want to do this, every little tiny aspect.
I was never told about that. Why are you talking about...
Why would the production manager even know what Artie wanted, though?
Well, who's the studio? I mean, doesn't Artie have a stage manager or a production manager?
No, I'm a comedian. What do you think I am, of Elvis Costello?
Well, I'm clearing every single thing with the people that work at the gift center.
All right, so it was a misunderstanding. J.D., here's the part of this that drives me crazy. Forget about Artie and Daniel. You're in charge of filming everything for Artie, and you missed the argument between Artie and Daniel?
I purposely said...
How do you do that?
You are not allowed to have a camera on the stage at this place, so I had to have it in my bag so no one would see it. And whenever he started arguing or whatever, I tried to get out so no one would see it, and
No, I thought backstage was all right. In other words, like what Howard's saying, like he saw that I was livid running in. You should have anticipated something embarrassing was going to happen. Because I purposely said afterwards, I said, you know what, it's embarrassing because I lost my mind, but did you get that on?
All right. Well, Daniel,
he probably got some funny shit.
Here's the thing. I also told him, if you want me to stop, just say stop. If you wanted to...
I get it.
I don't know who you're telling that to.
I know what's going on.
The stage guys and whoever runs the show back there.
I get what's going on here. You're not around, and he goes and so it's a misunderstanding, believe me. All right, Daniel.
Like I'm trying to piss off one of my heroes.
No, look, again, I'm sorry I lost it, and...
Hey, man, listen, I'm sorry. Dude, you know how bad I felt?
I know. It was rude of me to do that, but I was losing my mind because it was a big situation. And the show ended up being fine, and, you know...
See, this is what happens when, like if Artie goes on tour or guys go on tour and then they hook up with other, people from the show.
Well, he's done this before, and it's gone as badly.
Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, he forgets.
Because
I know it can go bad. That's why I really thought I had all my bases covered. I told the monitor men, I told the guys, I said, listen.
No, you didn't do anything, Daniel.
To you and says,
Daniel, you didn't do anything wrong. It was mishandled.
He did one thing, 2 things wrong in my eyes. The rest I'll take the hit for.
When you told him to get off stage.
And the smashing the guitar that's not using your instincts.
But he did get permission from somebody.
I don't know who that was.
When they told me to get off stage, it was the last song. The song was over. I even cued the sound guys. I said, do we have time for one more? Do you want to hear one more? And I say it twice. I'm looking at them. Nobody says boo to me.
So
I'm thinking I have to finish the set. They told me to do 30 minutes.
All right, hey, Daniel, don't worry about it. It'll be fun. All right, thanks, Daniel. Daniel from the Bleeding Deacons, who does all those great song parodies.
Go to their website.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to promote the band. I don't know. I
love Daniel and his song parodies and stuff, and now it's like... You guys go out on the road, and next thing I know, there's World War III breaking out.
Right.
No, it was a bad moment. It was a bad moment.